The challenge with capacity plans is they take a long time to prepare and even longer to maintain. They also become out of date as soon as new work comes in or jobs take longer than expected. Link integrates with Xero Practice Manager to provide a live capacity plan all year round. Your plan starts with assigning capacity targets to your team members. Your team list is automatically created from your team list in Xero Practice Manager. This is where we capture important inputs such as contracted number of hours and the target capacity for each team member. These are the inputs that create the start of our capacity plan. The assignable toggle indicates whether or not we can assign a team member tasks. If this is toggled off, the team member will no longer show in the Assign To drop-down list when scheduling. They will also not show in the capacity charts. People who do not complete timesheets in the practice should be set as unassignable. Job title, team, and office are used for filtering your capacity charts. You can select from the default list or set up new options in your organisation settings. Billable rate is used for calculating the assigned budget for a task and is used for your budget reconciliations. Hours per week is very important. It is used to calculate the number of available hours within a month, which is the starting point for each team member's capacity calculation. Then we have target capacity. This is the percentage of time we want each team member working on client work as opposed to internal work. 75% target capacity means we want this team member to be working on client work 75% of the time, allowing 25% of the time for internal work. Your objective in Link is to schedule all tasks. This means every task has a person assigned to it, an estimated number of hours, and a due date. Right now we can see all unscheduled tasks in the practice. Filter this list by selecting yourself as the job manager. We start with completing all tasks that we have already completed. We know that we've finished all our BAS due in October, so we search and bulk complete these. We can now sort this list by actual time and run through the tasks we've worked on and mark the ones that are completed. Once done, we can publish to Xero. The next step is to schedule our repeating tasks. We can use our search again and bulk schedule these. The bubble on each line shows the available capacity for each team member for the assigned month. This ensures you're not over-allocating work to anyone. The next step is to schedule all work currently in progress. We can do this by sorting the list by actual time and scheduling all the tasks we're currently working on to this month or the next. Remember to use the search to find any associated tasks when doing this. For example, there may be a review task you want to schedule in the same month as the preparation task. Now we can go through and schedule all our remaining tasks by grouping the list by client group. You may want to pick out certain high-value clients to schedule first, then work through the list top to bottom. Once all tasks are scheduled, you'll see a message saying, "You're all done." It's a good idea to periodically check to see if new tasks have been added to your unscheduled list so you can allocate these to the appropriate month. Each team member can view and prioritize the task they've been allocated in Workflow. Here we are in Workflow, which can be found under the menu Practice, Workflow. Here you'll see your name and your available capacity for the month. We can see here that I have 5 hours of availability for the current month, which is February 2025. If I click on my name, I can see the list of tasks I've been assigned for the month and any tasks from previous months I have not yet completed. I can see which ones are overdue as the due date is shown in red. Each task is given a status. The default is to do, which can be updated as you work on the task. Once a task is completed, it will be marked as completed in Xero Practice Manager, and any additional remaining time on the task will be credited to your available capacity. Like this task. Here I have 3 hours of remaining time. When I mark it as completed, you'll notice my available capacity will change from 5 to 8 available hours. On the other hand, if you exceed your time allocation, this will reduce your available capacity. Similarly, if you work on a task that you're not allocated to, this will reduce your available capacity. These updates allow you to easily see if you're running out of work or have too much on for the month. This should give you peace of mind around your workload and meeting client deadlines. Your workflow list can be reordered by dragging the items into the order you would like to work on them. Tasks you're working on can be brought to the top of the list, and completed tasks can be moved to the bottom. Your workflow page can be customized. You can remove the fields you don't want to see and add the fields you'd like to see. These can be dragged around and resized to how you'd like to see them. If you find a view you like, you can name it and save it. If you want to find a task quickly, you can use the quick search. This filters your list lightning fast to help you find what you're looking for. You can also add filters for advanced filtering options. To get a picture of what your capacity looks like over the coming 12 months, your practice administrator may have given you access to your capacity charts. If so, you'll find these in the menu under Capacity, View Capacity. Here we can see my capacity over the next 12 months. The grey bars represent my allocated internal time, the blue represents the work I've been allocated, and the green represents my available capacity. You can see here that in March I have a red bar. This means that I'm over allocated for the month. This is something that I may want to raise in my workflow meeting so we can come up with a plan to take some work off me. As a manager, you're not only responsible for your own workflow and capacity, but also your team's. Right now we can see my capacity, which can be updated to look at the entire practice or a certain team, office, or job title. Here we can see the capacity for our senior accountants for the next 12 months. If you see too much green in the current month, it may indicate that some people are running low on work. If you see red, it indicates someone is over allocated. To give visibility on this, we can click into the month we're investigating, which shows us all the people who made up the totals we are seeing. We can see here that Josh is running low on work this month, whereas Ruben is over allocated. There could be a number of reasons for this, but provided the work is nicely allocated at the start of the month, Josh is finishing his work quicker than expected, while Ruben is taking longer than expected, or is working on tasks he hasn't been allocated to. If we click again, we arrive in Workflow showing everyone's task list. This is the perfect place to run a workflow meeting and to move tasks between people or shift due dates. Josh has 18 hours of available capacity, so it makes sense to move a task from Ruben to Josh if possible. This 15-hour task looks like the perfect candidate. It hasn't been started, which we can see from the Xero actual hours, and it's a client that Josh is also familiar with. We can move this task by updating the assigned to from Ruben to Josh, which instantly updates the capacity for both of them. We then publish to Xero. This removes the task from Ruben's list and puts it on Josh's list. Every timesheet and interaction keeps your plan up to date, allowing your team to stay calm and focused.